Alright, welcome to breakdown number 3 here. I'm joined again by my friend Brandon, and we're going up against two higher ranks, one I think 49, one rank 50. We are still, I am in Onyx and Brandon's in Champion, you know the drill. Actually, he might be in Onyx by this point. This was the first game from another night of recording, so this isn't from the first night of breakdowns. But there was actually a game that we played the other night that I had turned off the recording, and then we're like, screw it, let's play one more. And I was like, it's probably we're going to lose anyways, so you know, I won't hit record. And sure enough, that game was great. I really wish I would have recorded it because that would have been a great one to break down. But nonetheless, what we're doing here is just starting with the simple build of Extractor Harvester, gonna get Banished Raid, the same old that I normally do. And then, you see me playing Shipmaster, and Brandon is playing Atriox. We went into this night kind of discussing what we needed to work on, and we were thinking, let's try double Banished with one Shipmaster, one Atriox, because Atriox's Chosen is very powerful. And Shipmaster has all those teleporting abilities, so if we apply early pressure, then we should have the advantage. So, like I always do, we're just getting the first power extractor near us here, so we can have a power lead, hopefully. You can see I got my ghost way earlier this time, that way I can just go out, get some supplies, get all that kind of good stuff. And you'll notice that right now my supply income's pretty low. I'm actually having to wait on building another harvester, and that happens when you do this build and you go extractor first. You're not going to have a lot of supplies, especially if you go after the power node like I do. However, you'll see soon that I have a lot of power to use, and I can get my economy rolling through upgrading harvesters earlier. So there's the second harvester right there, around a minute 22-ish. It's a minute 26 right now, so give or take what you want to do. But yeah, so sorry, there's not a lot to really say at the beginning here. I'm gonna keep them from getting this mini base, and then hopefully take out that marine over there, because I have 3 grunts on 1 marine. We're gonna get another harvester, and then at this point things are gonna start getting upgraded and things are gonna get rolling. Now I will say that it is almost the 2-minute mark, and I need to start getting ready to scout, which I believe I'm gonna end up doing here. Maybe not. At some point I do scout, but I guess right now I'm focusing on getting my economy going first, and then hopefully scouting soon after. So the other team, if you saw, is running Anders and I think Anders and Jerome is what they're running, and so Anders is a really interesting matchup because, I mean, everyone knows what Anders is going to do. Anders is trying to get teched up as quickly as possible because all of her beginning units are outclassed by every other leader in the game. Save for maybe Isabel, who is also not an early game character. So we see in Anders and we immediately think, like, let's just push, let's rush, because Anders is not going to have any units up available anytime soon. So right here I'm finally scouting, a little bit late, but nonetheless I am scouting. And you're going to see in just a second here that Anders' base, the red player, Anders' base has, well, first we're going to look at yellows, and that's just, standard build. We see flamers, we think, okay, they're just anti-rush. We know what they're doing, so I'm going to pump out some suicide grunts, and shout out to Killapokes there. Like, I don't know why it notifies me when my friends list makes looking for group posts, but oh well, shout out to you, buddy. So what you see right here is 3 generators, which means this Anders is obviously going for a late game build. So we are just amassing whatever units we have, and we're just immediately going to start pushing. We see that yellow has like units over there across the map, and we think, okay, half the army is over there. We need to just start pushing. So I'm going to be pumping out suicide grunts, pumping out ghosts, and you can see Brandon has just, a handful of grunts, and Atriox is chosen, and we're just going to start ramming the base, and it's about 4-minute and 2-second mark right here. A pretty prime time to push if you're gonna do it. And just look, there's no turrets, there's nothing to stop us, so we're just going to roll right up and start taking things out. You'll see that yellow has some Marines starting to amass somewhere, and you can see the red player, look, right there. If we didn't rush, there's immediately going to be Sentinels at our bases. This is why we had to rush early against an Anders, because if you let an Anders build up a Sentinel army, then you're screwed. You're that early in the game. If they already have Sentinels, there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. So you saw me use a Suicide Grunt on a building accidentally. I would highly recommend if you're selecting all units and you have Suicide Grunts in your mix, be really careful with that, because they're going to end up just ramming into buildings and not really doing much anyways. So just keep them away from the all units tab too much. But look at the suicide. Look at the damage that Suicide Grunts do to infantry armies. It's just insane. Watch this. These grunts are going to pop in, and they're going to take out almost this guy's entire army of flamers here. He's got a handful left, but I mean, I got 6 ghosts ready to ram them, so they're immediately going to drop. Aatrox's Chosen is super powerful. You see all the damage that it's doing. And I'm just going to keep pumping out a couple ghosts, get to Tech 2 just in case they have something to counter us. But Anders is trying to make a turret right there. We're going to take that out. We're going to keep hitting the generators. And you see right there that Anders is going to self-destruct our base, basically signifying that we have this game wrapped up. Yellow's units have all been taken out. That none of those really helped too much with the anti-rush. I'm going to grab Glassing Beam in case he has more at his base that we can just take out real quick. But you see right there that Jerome also selfed his base. And at this point, the game is over. So hopefully this is a good one. I don't know if everyone else is seeing Anders right now with the way the meta is right now. But should you see an Anders, you cannot let an Anders build up an army of Sentinels. It's just as good as they were back when, like Season 1, Season 2. Like, a full army of Sentinels is still a formidable foe. And with the builds nowadays that people know to get teched up quickly, you can't let them build that up. So hopefully this one helps out a little bit in case you go against an Anders. And look for another Halo Wars 2 video. I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the current meta, speaking of which. I'm going to be talking about that soon here, so look for that soon after this one, and we'll catch you in the next one.